Welcome to Lounge, everyone. My name is Toby Roydell, and today I want to speak my mind about what is normal and what is not. I at first was very hesitant about making this video because it's kind of heartbreaking and with negative content again. But we live in such times where negativity is all around, so we might as well just face it and try to deal with it by discussing it and talking about it. So many times I've heard, this is not normal, or that's not normal. And many people think homosexuality is not normal because, I don't know, as it's a part of humanity for hundreds or thousands of years, like forever. And some people think some people with diseases or disabilities are not normal. So I ask myself, what is normal then? And probably it's being boring and mainstream, not having your own opinion. Is that being normal? Something that happens a lot and like all of the people do or many people do? Is that normal? Okay. I will tell you then what is absolutely normal by those standards then. Violence, rape, and horrible death. This is pretty normal considering what happened the last few thousand years. Part of normal life. And that sucks, right? That's not a good thought. I mean, especially in Western countries, and more countries kind of belong to those Western countries. We live in this peace illusion, making us think that peace and happiness is normal and a crisis is abnormal and has to be solved and eradicated as soon as possible to resume to our peace and happiness. Quite the opposite has been the case for the majority of humans who have ever lived, because we are the ones living the abnormal lives, because peace and all that happiness are the absolute exception. And even in our countries, they were extreme exceptions until the middle or late middle of the last century. And when I say the majority of people who have ever lived, in case you're curious, I'm talking about 110 billion people who have ever lived on Earth. Depends on how far you want to go back and when you say a human is a human, but I would agree with this number. 110 billion people, from which 8 billion are alive right now. Our combination, and I'm back to this thought of the Western countries, our way of living, our capitalism and our roughly generally working democracies and justice systems have led us to the most wealthy and secure lives that have ever been lived by anyone. And so this has become the new normal for us. But what is the most normal thing for us doesn't necessarily mean it's the most normal thing for other people, especially on the other end of the world. Because for many people, peace is not normal, having food is not normal, and having a roof over your head is not normal in that sense that it is just guaranteed, that it's just there. It is not. Throughout our history, it was absolutely normal that hundreds of thousands of people die with the signing of an order in any war, or that cities get destroyed or bombed, like in the cases of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And atrocious things like those happened so many times throughout our history that we could say that is absolutely normal. And there are, even if you do not want to believe that, there are things that could be described as way worse than bombing of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, although I do not want to rank them what it was the most atrocious. Horrible anyways. But no one would agree with me if I said that's actually normal. And rightfully so. because it should not be. And it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good to say that that is normal, that I want to live in such a world. Not at all. It feels weird and awkward, and to be honest, it makes me want to quit talking about such topics immediately, because it hurts to think about such things. It doesn't feel good. It kills every mood, of course it does. And yeah, it hurts to think about stuff like that. But while informing myself about whatever is going on, and even though I want to quit and stop focusing on such bad things, I must continue. I feel this urge that I must know. I want to fight my comfort zone. Because reality does not take place in my comfort zone. I cannot live my life telling myself at every occasion that everything is fine and everyone is fine, everything will be okay. I cannot. I do not want to live in my tiny safe bubble and hope that everything passes on by me and doesn't bother me and doesn't do anything with me. I can only urge you to do the same thing. I feel like I owe this to my fellow humans. I owe them that I care. Even though I cannot change their misery, probably. I can't change their life, probably. But at least I care. At least I show that I'm with them. Like many people actually do just in these days. And even if I can't change the misery of other people, I can keep the misery out of my life, as far as I'm capable of, by understanding the ways the things go, why things go wrong, how do the things work that make life's misery. And don't come at me saying, well, that can't happen to us. We are safe, that cannot happen to us, right? Well, that's what the 20-year-old boys thought too, who are now firing their guns at people they do not want to shoot. And that's exactly what the 20-year-old girls thought too, who are now holding bloody bandages of those wounded on the front lines. Holding bloody bandages of their friends and people they knew. People which they should sit in schools and universities side by side and studying stuff like we do. But they can't anymore. There is no mercy. There is no normal anymore. There's a new normal. And it can change in one single day. If you know someone who could be interested in this topic, don't hesitate to show them this video. There's so much more to discuss, honestly, here. And like in all my other videos too, there's only so much you can say in only a few minutes. My name is Toby Roydell, and I hope to see you again next time here in my lounge.